guys, how you doing? Hope everything is well. Everything is good with me. Yeah, I want to talk about this young man named London. They can call him Landon Payton, and he went to a school in Houston, and he collapsed in the gym. And they were saying that the defibrillator they was using, they don't know if it worked or what the heck is going on. But y'all, it says controversy over Houston ISD's middle schoolers' sudden death in gym class. Family hired a lawyer, so you know it's not much they can say because they already hired a lawyer. They said 14-year-old London. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. London Payton died after a medical emergency in physical education class at Marshall Middle School on August 14th. Since his passing, speculation had spiraled around if the defibrillator was used during the medical emergency and if the equipment was working properly. So they don't even know if it was used, if it wasn't used. I don't understand why that's so hard for them to say. I know they're not gonna lie. Like, that don't make no sense. Like, did you use it or did you not use it? Like, that's just ridiculous. They said HISD will not confirm if an AE, that's the defibrillator, was used in the incident. Why? Why you won't? What do you mean you won't say? What that mean? What you mean you won't say? Like, that don't make no sense. You won't say if the oh my god. But released some numbers in response to the inquiry. HISD put these out in a release saying the district has 1,038 AEDs in schools. 868 of them are working. Orders have been placed for the replacement parts, in most cases batteries. Really? Just for a battery? For the remaining 170 machines, 100% of the AEDs will be re-inspected before the end of August. Oh, now they're gonna inspect them after this happened to a kid. Now you're gonna inspect them. It's already the end of August. What you mean? There's an average of 3 working ASD per school. Excuse me. They said when the AED excuse me, is not working, it is removed from the wall while it awaits repair. A note directing trained staff to nearest AED is then put in place for the machine that is temporarily out of order. Dozens gathered Monday to grieve Landon's visual outside Marshall's Middle School. His family said they cannot comment on the death as they hired an attorney. The attorney said they are waiting the medical examiner's report before taking any steps. HISD also included the following safety facts in these release. A. The current administration does not believe safety and medical management should remain decentralized, and we are taking steps to change these practices. Currently, policy local regulations makes principals and location supervisors responsible to ensure AEDs are available and working. Moving forward, we will amend the policy to place the responsibility and the authorities with the appropriate central office items and teams. C. In early August, the district began adapting a health and safety platform to record inspections and maintenance information. The health and medical team will work with the and safety and the medical management team to identify districts staff who will be responsible for uploading information into the platform and for overseeing the regular inspections and maintenance of the equipment. So, being that this happened to this kid, now everybody wants to put things in place, and that's kind of ridiculous because I mean, everybody always wait until it's too late, and that's not cool. That's not cool at all. You wait till it's way too late, and this young man lost his life. This is a young man. That's Landon. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna let y'all see the video and try to figure out what happened here, because the parents want some answers. And for them to say that they're not gonna tell, I guess they're not gonna tell because the family has a lawyer or whatever. But they asking you, did it work or did you use it? I mean, yes or no? Like, what's the big deal? I don't know, y'all. But anyway, watch the video because this is stupid.
August 14th, we received a call from a viewer about a possible death on an HISD campus. When we first reached out, the district would not give a lot of information other than there was a medical emergency. They did say it was a very difficult day and that they would support the family and campus in the days following the incident. Ugochi Iloka explains the initial unfolding of events.
HISD isn't saying much about this incident other than confirming a middle schooler was rushed to the hospital just yesterday, and they weren't providing any more details on the child's condition. Some parents, however, tell me that things took a tragic turn, with one mom even sharing an email providing more details. I asked a mom about what happened with the medical emergency yesterday while she was dropping off her student at Marshall Middle School. She told me her daughter is in the 7th grade and mentioned to her that the student got sick and had a seizure during PE. She told her that she was in another class and that they kept them in the classes like a lockdown during the medical emergency. The parent I spoke to also shared this email from the school principal. The email says, "Dear parents, it is with deep regret that we inform you about a recent loss to our school community. Today, one of our 8th grade students died. This loss is sure to raise many emotions, concerns, and questions for our entire school, especially our students." It goes on to say HISD has a crisis response team made up of professionally trained specialists to help students, parents, and staff during this difficult time. The parent that shared this email told me that her thoughts and prayers go out to the family of the young boy. We reached out to an HISD spokesman today to get an update on this. He says that the district is unable to comment on medical conditions of employees or students. Reporting outside of Marshall Middle School, Ugochi Iloka, KHOU 11 News.
The day after the incident, KHOU 11 was the first to speak to Landon's father, who said it was just as hot in the gym as it was outside that day.
There's not much to think about when your child is fighting for their life.
My son, save my son, save my son. That's all I could do, man.
Tonight, Father Alexis Payton says all he could do is hope and pray Wednesday as paramedics tried to revive his son, 14-year-old Landon, inside Marshall Middle School. He's now leaning on family, friends to help him through this tragedy.
The only thing we wanted is to know what happened.
Payton says on Wednesday, the district called saying his son had a seizure in gym class. By the time he arrived, he says paramedics were desperately trying to save Landon's life.
When my son was down on the floor in the gym, it was hot. We were sweating.
The district sent a statement Wednesday that a student had suffered a medical emergency, but didn't publicly acknowledge the child's passing until nearly 24 hours later.
They just trying to cover their behind before they let anything loose, because it ain't gonna go easy for me. And I'm not gonna make it easy for them.
And tonight, Payton says his repeated questions to the school and district have gone unanswered.
We was up here this morning. They talking about we investigate. They didn't give us no answers on nothing.
State Representative Christina Morales represents the area where Marshall Middle School is located. She also sent a letter to the district and TEA hoping for more transparency about what happened.
I didn't expect to see the father here, and I can't imagine what he's going through. It's a parent's worst nightmare to lose their child.
Payton now saying not getting answers is making a debilitating pain even worse.
It's been horrible. It's been horrible. Lose my son is horrible.
Just a few days into the school year,
I don't know how to feel. All I feel is empty.
Alexis Payton lost his son, Landon. Landon's father gave us permission to use this photo of his son from a previous student ID from when he was in the 6th grade.
It's been horrible. It's been horrible. Lose my son is horrible.
The tragedy happened at HISD's Marshall Middle School on Wednesday. Tonight, Superintendent Mike Miles began the district board meeting with this message.
We're devastated by the loss of a student at Marshall Middle School, and our deepest sympathies and condolences go out to the parents and the family. We're continuing to gather information about the medical emergency and tragic loss. And at this time, I would like to give us a short pause for a moment of silence to honor the student whose life ended way too soon.
However, that's not enough for this devastated father.
They talking about we investigate. They didn't give us no answers on nothing. Like main thing, I wanted to talk to the gym teacher because he was the one in there. And y'all have cameras in there, so why we can't see the film?
State Representative Christina Morales also calling for answers. She sent this letter to HISD and the Texas Education Agency, saying the father should have already been informed.
We don't know what happened, but there are a lot of questions right now when there's not a lot of trust with the leadership.
Welcome back, students. Just a few days ago, our cameras were rolling when Payton was dropping off his son Landon on the first day of school. He spoke with KHOU 11 about transportation issues and his safety concerns with his son walking to school alone.
I'm trying to avoid all that, man. That's why I'd rather bring him.
Today, he returned, heartbroken, desperately trying to find out what led to his son's death.
They just trying to cover their behind before they let anything loose, because it ain't gonna go easy for me, and I'm not gonna make it easy for them.
3 days after Landon's death, his father said he was shown video of his son at school, but not video of his son's death. Landon's father said he wasn't shown anything that would give him and his family closure.
It never ends. It just hurts. It just hurts and hurts and hurts.
For Alexis Payton, the grief is only made worse now, with no clear answer as to how his son Landon died on just the 3rd day of school in PE class.
You just don't know. You just don't know. All I want is closure. They don't even give me closure.
Today, we spoke to Payton after he met with Houston ISD officials. He said he watched 2 different police body camera videos of his son's final moments.
After he collapsed, that's all it shows.
You're not showing you what led up to that or anything? You're not showing you what they did for your son?
Nothing.
On that video, Payton said he heard a school nurse admit they did not know CPR.
It's a nurse that y'all have at the school that didn't know how to do CPR. Did not know how to do CPR. Did not know how to use the defibrillator.
Still, this father told us he didn't see much today he hadn't already seen when he was called to Marshall Middle School on Wednesday after his son had collapsed.
I was there when my son passed. They didn't show me what's going on. The gym said they don't have that film all of a sudden.
Payton's frustration at the lack of information contradicting what Superintendent Mike Miles said today during a brief news conference.
We've been focused this week on gathering information for the family and have prioritized that above all else.
Miles called what happened to 14-year-old Landon a, quote, medical emergency.
He received immediate medical assistance from the Marshall Middle School teachers, the HISD police, and medical personnel.
Miles added the district is still gathering information about what led to the incident, but he didn't answer any of our questions after making a statement.
Was there a school nurse on site, sir?
Across the district?
It just speaks to the incompetent leadership that we have in HISD.
That's what Houston Federation of Teachers President Jackie Anderson says came to mind when she learned about the death of 14-year-old Landon Payton, a student at HISD's Marshall Middle School.
My heart goes out to the parent.
Tonight, there's still no clear answer as to how Landon died while in PE class.
I want closure, that's all I want. I want to see how it started from the front to the end, not just give it the end. I was there at the end. I saw my son die. I was there at the end. I'm trying to see what led up to this.
Landon's father, Alexis Payton, spoke with HISD officials Friday, where he watched police body camera video that he says did not show what led up to his son's death, but says he heard someone admit they didn't know CPR.
It's a nurse that y'all have at the school that didn't know how to do CPR. Did not know how to do CPR. Did not know how to use the defibrillator.
Anderson says she's skeptical about that.
From what I understand, this nurse has 30-something years experience before she came here. I just don't believe she said that. He may have heard that, but I personally, in my heart, I don't believe she said that.
But does say HISD nurses don't have the resources they need.
Where are your priorities? If you say you're here for children, then your actions ought to align with what you say.
On Friday, Superintendent Mike Miles delivered a statement on Landon's death, but refused to take questions.
We've been focused this week on gathering information for the family and have prioritized that above all else.
When KHOU 11 asked Superintendent Mike Miles about Landon's death, he said he wasn't going to talk about it. Meanwhile, questions were asked about whether the school's medical equipment was working, and Landon's family and the community held a vigil to remember his life.
Like I said, we're not going to talk about that right now. We're going to talk about accountability.
HISD Superintendent Mike Miles again not answering questions regarding the tragic death of Landon Payton, a Marshall Middle School student who died on campus the first week of school. Instead, referring us back to a news release sent out over the weekend, which stated Landon collapsed in the gym Wednesday in front of a PE teacher and special education teacher, that the temperature was 72 degrees, and that staff responded quickly and appropriately. Yet, there are questions regarding medical training and AEDs on campuses. Jackie Anderson, the president of Teachers Union, tells us nurses have put in requests to fix non-working AEDs. She says the district needs to act.
Where are your priorities? If you say you're here for children, then your actions ought to align with what you say.
Earlier today, HISD held a virtual news conference without Miles to address AEDs only. When asked about the number of working AEDs at Marshall Middle School, this was their response.
The district is not going to answer specific questions about the events at Marshall Middle School on August 14th.
Landon's father, who has spoken with KHOU, now has an attorney. I spoke with him over the phone, and he tells me a preservation of evidence letter was sent to HISD to hold and keep evidence safe to give them a chance to complete an investigation. Now, he's waiting on the autopsy report before moving forward. As far as AEDs at HISD schools, the district says they're routinely checked every month at the campus level, and that they were all checked prior to August 1st by a third party.
The district has 1,038 working AED machines, and 868 of them are working. Parts have been ordered for the ones that are not working.
No answers as to why 170 AEDs were not working ahead of the school year. Many questions left unanswered.
Well, we will answer all those questions at a different press conference.
Superintendent Mike Miles again refused to take questions on Landon's death today, but tonight was all about supporting Landon's family.
This family is facing a loss that words cannot truly capture.
In a field outside Marshall Middle School, friends and neighbors wrapped their arms around Landon Payton's family.
The Bible didn't tell us how to mourn our children.
Amen.
We let them go to school and they come, we expect for them to come home.
But last week, Landon didn't come home. What's most heartbreaking, it's still unclear how or why he died.
What brings us together is a different common bond called grief.
The near Northside Community Response Team organized the vigil. Mourners lit candles. Landon's father and 2 older siblings in the crowd.
Listen to my song.
Folks clinging to music and prayer before a balloon release in Landon's honor. Tears flowing, the pain palpable.
A child who was supposed to come home did not even make it out of the school building.
In the days since Landon's death, we've learned 170 AEDs across district campuses are not working. Why? Yet another question that remains unanswered. Students and families leaving messages on a banner for Landon's family. Prayerful Landon's death won't be in vain.
His death is going to help a whole lot of people because change is going to come. To the Payton family, I want you to know that today doesn't end. We're going to be with you forever.
We did try to speak to Landon's father tonight, but told us he has hired an attorney. That attorney tells us they're waiting on autopsy results before deciding their next steps.
Year-old Landon Payton, while questions remain surrounding his sudden death on campus on the first week of school. Now, more local lawmakers are weighing in.
Transparency is the key.
State Senator Carol Alvarado tells me she spoke with Landon's father, helping him begin to get some of the pieces of information he's been missing from HISD.
They are going back tomorrow to look at some of the remaining footage that was caught on camera.
Landon's father, Alexis Payton, had only seen part of that footage. Says it's still unclear to him what happened moments before his son's tragic death.
They are grieving. They just can't believe that this happened.
Our children weren't prioritized from day one. Our children and their safety were not prioritized on day one of this school year.
State Representative Cristina Morales met with Landon's father the day after his son died. She sent a letter to the district seeking clarification on what happened to Landon and how staff responded.
If there is some sort of emergency, we need to make sure that we're well prepared, and the community really just does not have any trust in HISD right now.
While there have been questions about CPR training and the use of defibrillators known as AEDs, these 2 lawmakers tell me the district admitting 170 AED machines are not working was far from comforting.
We need to make sure that all equipment is working properly.
HISD says orders have been placed to fix those defibrillators, but still hasn't said whether one was even used as staff tried to save Landon's life.
It's very concerning. I was alarmed to see that report, and we will be communicating with the school district on how did they let that get so far behind?
Meanwhile, these lawmakers tell me the district's response has them questioning HISD's priorities.
On August 21st, more video of Landon walking around the school was released. The family's attorney said Landon appeared fine, but it wasn't enough to bring the closure they're looking for, and it's still unclear what kind of medical assistance was given to Landon that day.
Landon Payton's family has a painful walk ahead, but say they'll make that walk as often as they have to. This time back into HISD headquarters, hoping to get the answers they need.
It didn't give the closure, I think, that the family was looking for, unfortunately. It leaves a lot of unanswered questions about what happened that day.
In a nearly 2-hour meeting Wednesday, the family and attorney tell KHOU 11 News they were able to watch a new surveillance videos showing Landon walking around Marshall Middle School before he suffered a medical emergency.
There is not sufficient video to show what happened in the gym, unfortunately.
Attorney Chris Tritical, speaking for the family Wednesday, says in the video, Landon appeared fine. It's the second time Landon's father, Alexis, has seen video from that day. Last week, he spoke to us after being shown HISD police body camera footage as the tragedy unfolded. Tritical says he wants the district to preserve evidence of what happened, and today he made a troubling claim about what happened that tragic day.
I know the AED didn't work. That's not the issue. The issue was the failure of the AED device. Would it have saved his life if it had been working? I'm going to fix them now. there's a dead child, and that should have happened before.
Why were 170 defibrillators, known as AED machines, not working across HISD campus ahead of the school year? That question remains today after the tragic death of Landon Payton. Chris Tritico, the attorney representing Landon's family, today telling us he's certain an AED machine didn't work on the day of the incident.
I know the AED didn't